When you love yourself, you start treating your time as precious. You stop wasting it on negativity and start investing it in your growth. Because the moment you honor yourself, the world begins to honor you too. So today, promise yourself this: to speak kindly to your soul, to forgive your past, to believe in your potential, and to never forget, you are your greatest investment. Self-love is not selfish, it's foundational. It is the starting point of every healthy relationship, every successful journey, and every fulfilled dream. Most people misunderstand self-love as ego or arrogance, but true self-love is neither of those. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's about realizing that you are worthy, valuable, and capable just as you are. It's the quiet understanding that you deserve the same kindness, patience, and care that you so freely give to others. When you love yourself, you begin to see the world differently. You stop begging for approval and start living with purpose. You stop chasing validation and start walking in confidence. You realize that the way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. Every time you ignore your needs, tolerate disrespect, or doubt your worth, you send a message to the world about what you think you deserve. But when you begin to honor yourself, your time, your energy, your dreams, you send a different message. I respect myself, and I expect the same. Self-love builds the foundation for emotional strength. Life will test you, people will disappoint you, and circumstances will sometimes break your heart. Without self-love, those moments can destroy your confidence. But with self-love, you develop resilience. You know that even if the world falls apart, you still have yourself. And that's enough to rebuild. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about knowing that you are strong enough to heal from it. When you love yourself, you stop seeing failure as final. Instead, you see it as feedback, a lesson to help you grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's next. It's important to understand that self-love is not comfort all the time. It's not just about treating yourself to something nice or saying positive affirmations. True self-love also involves discipline. It's doing what's best for you, even when it's not easy. It's choosing growth over comfort, responsibility over excuses, and consistency over laziness. When you love yourself, you care enough to build habits that serve your future. You eat well not because of pressure, but because your body deserves health. You learn new things not to impress others, but because your mind deserves knowledge. You set boundaries not to push people away, but to protect your peace. Self-love also means forgiving yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has moments they wish they could take back. But holding on to guilt or regret doesn't change the past. It only steals the joy of the present. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean ignoring your flaws. It means accepting them as part of your humanity and choosing to grow from them. When you forgive yourself, you free up energy to become better instead of bitter. Loving yourself also means speaking to yourself with kindness. Too often, people become their own worst critics. They say things to themselves they would never say to someone they care about. But your words have power. The way you talk to yourself becomes your belief system. Replace "I can't" with "I'll try." Replace "I failed" with "I learned." Speak life into your soul every day. The world can be harsh, so be gentle with yourself. Self-love teaches you to be your own best friend. When you reach that point, you no longer depend on others to make you feel complete. Relationships become choices, not needs. You share love from a place of wholeness, not emptiness. You give, not because you crave acceptance, but because you already have peace within. At its core, self-love is the foundation of a strong, meaningful life. Without it, everything else feels unstable. With it, everything you build, your dreams, your relationships, your success, stands on solid ground. Confidence grows from self-acceptance. It begins the moment you stop fighting who you are and start embracing yourself fully. Your strengths, your flaws, your story, and your journey. Most people think confidence comes from achievements, appearance, or approval from others. But real confidence doesn't come from outside validation. It's born from within, from the quiet understanding that you are enough, even as you work to become better. When you accept yourself, you stop pretending to be someone else and start living with honesty and peace. Self-acceptance is the foundation upon which lasting confidence is built. You can wear success like an outfit, but if you don't accept yourself underneath it, you'll always feel insecure. True confidence is not about perfection. It's about authenticity. It's standing tall not because everything in your life is perfect, but because you have learned to be comfortable in your own skin. You don't need to compare your path to others because you know your journey has its own timing and purpose. When you stop competing with others and start improving yourself, you begin to experience real peace and genuine strength. Many people spend years trying to prove their worth, chasing approval, likes, and compliments. But the more you depend on others to make you feel worthy, the more fragile your confidence becomes. The moment people stop clapping, you start doubting yourself again. Self-acceptance breaks that cycle. It teaches you that your value doesn't decrease because someone fails to see it. It reminds you that you don't need to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be. You only need to be true to who you are. Confidence that grows from self-acceptance has depth. It's quiet but powerful. It's not loud or arrogant. It's steady and calm. It allows you to walk into any room without needing to be the center of attention. You don't need to prove anything. Your presence speaks for itself. You can admit when you don't know something without feeling small, because your confidence isn't built on pretending to be perfect. It's built on the trust that you can learn, grow, and improve. Accepting yourself also means making peace with your past. Every mistake, every failure, every heartbreak shaped you into who you are today. Instead of running from your past, learn from it. Every lesson has value. Confidence grows when you stop being ashamed of where you've been and start being proud of how far you've come. The scars you carry aren't signs of weakness. They're proof that you've survived, that you've grown, that you've kept going when it was easier to quit. Self-acceptance doesn't mean you stop striving for more. It means you grow from love, not from hate. You don't improve yourself because you think you're broken. You do it because you care about your potential. When you accept yourself, self-improvement becomes joyful instead of painful. You start building new habits, learning new skills, and chasing bigger dreams. Not to fix yourself, but to honor yourself. That's where confidence becomes unshakable, because it's rooted in gratitude, not insecurity. Confidence born from self. Acceptance gives you the courage to be authentic. You can speak your truth without fear of judgment. You can stand alone without feeling lonely. You can celebrate others without feeling less about yourself. You stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20 because you finally understand that your timing is yours. When you accept yourself, you don't rush life. You trust it. In the end, confidence and self-acceptance are inseparable. The more you embrace your true self, the stronger and more grounded your confidence becomes. You begin to radiate a quiet power that doesn't need words to be noticed. You become unshakable, not because life is easy, but because you've made peace with who you are. Discipline is a form of self-respect. It's not about punishment or restriction. It's about valuing yourself enough to do what needs to be done, even when it's not easy. When you are disciplined, you send a clear message to yourself. I matter. My goals matter. My future matters. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's a daily commitment to your growth, a quiet promise that you will not let laziness, fear, or doubt control your destiny. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your self-respect grows. You start to trust your own word. You begin to feel proud, not because of instant success, but because you showed up for yourself. That's what discipline truly is, showing up again and again, even when motivation fades. Motivation may start the journey, but discipline keeps it alive. It's easy to do something when you feel inspired. It's hard to do it when you don't. And that's why discipline builds strength of character. It trains your mind to follow your decisions, not your emotions. People often admire success, but overlook the discipline that created it. Behind every strong body, sharp mind, or successful business is someone who made consistent choices when no one was watching. Discipline isn't loud or flashy. It's quiet, steady, and powerful. It's waking up early to learn, staying focused when distractions call, and doing what's right instead of what's easy. When you practice discipline, you build integrity with yourself. You stop depending on willpower and start living with structure and purpose. Self-respect and discipline are deeply connected because both come from self-worth. When you respect yourself, you don't allow laziness or bad habits to control your life. You don't settle for less than your potential. You treat your time, body, and mind with care because you know they are valuable. Discipline is how you express that respect in action. You don't eat healthy because someone told you to. You do it because your body deserves health. You don't manage your money because of pressure. You do it because your future deserves stability. You don't study or work hard for others' approval. You do it because your dreams deserve effort. The truth is, discipline often feels uncomfortable in the beginning. It demands sacrifice, patience, and focus. You'll have to say no to short-term pleasure to achieve long-term growth. But every time you choose discipline, you strengthen your self-control. You begin to see results, not just in your achievements, but in your confidence. The pride that comes from being disciplined is one of the most powerful feelings in life. It's the satisfaction of knowing you earned your progress. Without discipline, even the best intentions fade. Dreams remain dreams, and potential stays untapped. But with discipline, small actions turn into habits, and habits shape destiny. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be consistent. One small act of discipline each day builds momentum. Over time, that momentum creates transformation. Discipline also protects your peace. It helps you say no to things that waste your time and yes to things that make you better. It gives you control over your life instead of letting circumstances control you. When you live with discipline, you stop being reactive and start being intentional. You become the designer of your own future. At its core, discipline is an act of love, love for your goals, your health, your peace, and your future self. It's proof that you believe in your own potential enough to work for it. Every time you practice discipline, you build not only success, but self-respect. Because deep down, nothing feels better than keeping the promises you make to yourself. Your inner world shapes your outer world. Everything you experience on the outside is a reflection of what you carry within. Your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and mindset act like a lens through which you view life. If that lens is cloudy with negativity, fear, or doubt, then no matter how bright the world is, you will only see shadows. But when your inner world is filled with gratitude, clarity, and peace, even the smallest moments begin to shine. The truth is, life doesn't just happen to you. It happens through you. Every thought you think creates a ripple in your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that life is unfair, you'll find proof of it everywhere. But if you train your mind to look for opportunity, your eyes will begin to notice doors where others only see walls. The outer world mirrors your inner vibration. What you focus on expands. This is why two people can face the same challenge, and one will see defeat, while the other will see growth. The difference isn't in the situation, it's in the mindset. Your inner world begins with your self-talk. The words you whisper to yourself when no one's listening have incredible power. If you speak to yourself with doubt, you will shrink in fear. But if you speak with belief, you'll rise in confidence. The world treats you the way you treat yourself. If you expect rejection, you'll act timid and invited. If you expect respect, you'll carry yourself with strength and attract it. Your energy introduces you before you even speak. The inner world is also shaped by what you feed your mind. Just like your body becomes what you eat, your thoughts become what you consume mentally. Negative news, gossip, and toxic environments drain your spirit, while good books, uplifting conversations, and inspiring ideas strengthen it. Protect your mind as carefully as you protect your body. You cannot grow a positive life with a negative mindset. Surround yourself with what lifts you higher, not what drags you down. Emotions also play a powerful role. When your heart is filled with anger, jealousy, or resentment, your perception of the world becomes narrow and bitter. You start to see enemies instead of opportunities. But when you choose forgiveness, gratitude, and compassion, you open yourself to abundance and peace. The moment you change how you feel inside, the quality of your life outside begins to shift. Peace is not something you find in the world. It's something you create within. Your beliefs are the foundation of your inner world. What you believe about yourself determines how you live. If you believe you're capable, you'll take risks and grow. If you believe you're not enough, you'll hold yourself back, even when opportunity knocks. Most people wait for the world to give them proof before they believe in themselves. But that's backward. Belief must come first. Once you believe, you'll act differently. And when you act differently, life responds differently. Silence and reflection are powerful tools to shape your inner world. Taking time each day to pause, to breathe, to think, allows you to reset your emotions and refocus your mind. In the noise of daily life, it's easy to lose touch with your inner self. But the more connected you are within, the more balanced you become without. Clarity inside leads to direction outside. The outer world is simply a mirror. If you want better relationships, start by improving how you relate to yourself. If you want success, build confidence and discipline within. If you want peace, calm your mind and practice gratitude. Every change begins inwardly before it appears outwardly. When you align your inner world with love, faith, and purpose, your outer world naturally follows. Because no matter where you go, you take yourself with you, and the world around you will always rise or fall to the level of your inner state. Forgiveness is part of self-love. It's one of the most powerful and freeing acts you can ever do for yourself. Many people believe forgiveness is about excusing someone else's behavior or pretending the pain didn't happen. But that's not true. Forgiveness isn't about others, it's about you. It's about releasing the weight that keeps your heart heavy and your mind restless. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or guilt, you trap yourself in the same pain that hurt you. But when you forgive, you set yourself free. You stop letting the past control your peace, and you begin to live again. Self-love means caring enough about your emotional health to let go of what no longer serves you. Holding on to bitterness doesn't punish the person who hurt you. Every time you replay the memory of what went wrong, you relive the pain. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing peace over poison. It's saying, I deserve to move forward. I refuse to let this pain define me. That decision alone is an act of strength and deep self-respect. Forgiving others is only one part of it. The harder but equally important part is forgiving yourself. We all make mistakes. We all have moments we wish we could erase. Words we shouldn't have said, choices we shouldn't have made, opportunities we let slip away. But punishing yourself over and over again doesn't change the past. It only keeps you stuck in regret. True self-love means looking at your past self with compassion and saying, I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. Now I choose to grow. That's how you heal, not by erasing your past, but by learning from it. Forgiveness is not weakness. It takes courage to release anger when every part of you wants revenge or justification. It takes strength to choose inner peace over emotional chaos. When you forgive, you reclaim your power. You stop allowing your past or the actions of others to dictate how you feel today. You take control back from the pain. You become the master of your emotions, not their victim. When you practice forgiveness, you create space for healing. Anger and love cannot live in the same heart. Bitterness and peace cannot share the same mind. Letting go of resentment makes room for joy, clarity, and freedom. It allows new energy to flow into your life. It helps you trust again, dream again, and open your heart again. Not because others deserve it, but because you do. Forgiveness also teaches humility. It reminds you that everyone is human, imperfect, flawed, and learning. Just as others have hurt you, you have likely hurt others too. Understanding that truth doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it helps you view life with empathy instead of judgment. The more you understand others' pain, the easier it becomes to release your own. Compassion softens the hardest parts of the heart. Self. Love without forgiveness is incomplete. You can't truly love yourself if you're at war with your past. You can't build a peaceful life while carrying old anger. Letting go is not about denying what happened. It's about choosing not to let it control your happiness. When you forgive, you tell your heart that it deserves rest. You remind yourself that pain is a teacher, not a life sentence. The more you practice forgiveness, the lighter you become. Your energy changes. You begin to attract peace instead of chaos, hope instead of bitterness. Forgiveness doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a decision you may have to make again and again. But each time you choose it, your heart grows stronger. Because every act of forgiveness is really an act of love. A love that begins within and shines outward into every corner of your life. Daily practice builds lasting change. Real transformation never happens in a single moment of inspiration. It happens in the quiet, consistent effort you put in day after day. Most people want quick results. They want to see progress overnight, success without struggle, and growth without patience. But lasting change doesn't work that way. The secret to a strong body, a sharp mind, a peaceful heart, or a successful life lies in what you do repeatedly. It's your habits, your routines, your discipline that shape your destiny. What you practice every day, intentionally or not,